Welcome to Motivation at Hand, Ma. To know is to know how. Make your foot the foot that counts. In Fulton County's heart, where RICO's web is spun, DA Fani Willis fights until justice is won. A criminal enterprise, a complex scheme. In this RICO case, the truth is the dream. Conspiracies woven, like threads in the night. DA Willis unveils them with unwavering might. Each charge, each defendant, a piece of the puzzle. In pursuit of justice, she'll never muzzle. In the courtroom's theater, where facts are displayed, DA Willis persists, undeterred, undismayed. In this RICO battle, where justice must prevail, the pursuit of truth leaves no room to fail. On October 20, 2023, in a plot thick with intrigue, Kenneth Chesebro, formerly a legal luminary in Donald Trump's campaign, took center stage. He offered a guilty plea, confessing to unlawful collusion aimed at overturning Trump's 2020 electoral defeat in Georgia. In a deft maneuver, he struck a pact that would exempt him from incarceration, while concurrently committing to furnish evidence that might ensnare others in this tangled web, potentially even implicating Trump himself. Chesebro followed the footsteps of another former Trump lawyer, becoming the second in as many days to accept a plea agreement in this labyrinthine conspiracy case. This unexpected confession occurred just as the jury selection process was commencing, prior to an impending trial set for the following month. In a courtroom drama, Chesebro admitted guilt to a sole felony charge of conspiring to submit falsified documents. As part of his sentence, he agreed to serve 3 to 5 years of probation, pay a $1,000 fine, provide $5,000 in restitution to the state of Georgia, compose an apology letter, solemnly pledge to offer truthful testimony should any of his co-defendants face trial. The heart of the matter revolves around Chesebro's role in orchestrating groups of pro-Trump electors across 7 states where Joe Biden secured victory. The amended indictment, unveiled during the proceedings, contends that several other co-defendants, including Trump, 4 additional lawyers, including Rudy Giuliani, and a campaign operative, were complicit in this grand conspiracy. Chesebro affixed his signature to the amended indictment, although it remained unclear whether he had provided prosecutors with evidence concerning the alleged involvement of these other individuals. Chesebro's admission of guilt trails that of pro-Trump attorney Sidney Powell, making him the third co-defendant to acknowledge culpability in the criminal racketeering case. This case alleges that Trump and 18 associates violated Georgia law while endeavoring to overturn Biden's 2020 triumph in the state. All 3 have agreed to cooperate as witnesses against their fellow defendants. This plea represents a legal triumph for Fulton County District Attorney Fani T. Willis, who heads the prosecution of the Georgia case. Furthermore, it circumvents a potentially high-stakes trial that might have required the disclosure of substantial evidence against Trump and his associates, potentially tilting the legal playing field in favor of other defendants. The prospect of incriminating testimonies from 3 of Trump's co-defendants carries significant implications for the former president's legal standing, as well as for other prominent figures, especially Giuliani, who is alleged to have played a role in Powell's and Chesebro's attempts to overturn Trump's electoral defeat. Chesebro, a graduate of Harvard Law School, boasts a legal portfolio that includes assisting then Vice President Al Gore's legal team in the midst of the contentious 2000 presidential election recount in Florida. Chesebro played a role as part of the research team, providing support to other prominent legal figures who were representing Gore as the Brooke Brothers riot went forthward. Presently, he had been grappling with 7 charges linked to his purported role as the architectural mind behind a scheme employing Trump electors in Georgia and other pivotal states to subvert the legitimacy of the 2020 Electoral College results, ultimately swaying the election in favor of the Republican nominee. The day of Chesebro's guilty plea unfolded with a blend of courtroom suspense. Initially observed entering the courthouse early that Friday morning, he did not join Fulton County Superior Court Judge Scott McAfee, prosecutors, and Defense attorneys when the judge addressed the 450 prospective jurors summoned to complete a questionnaire. However, around noon, prosecutors made their entrance into McAfee's courtroom, subsequently followed by Chesebro and his legal counsel. Chesebro, who had previously pleaded not guilty, appeared to be in high spirits, even sporting a smile. Witnesses saw him penning what his lawyer, Scott Grubman, later identified as the required apology letter within his plea agreement. Grubman later framed the plea agreement as a victory for his client. Adherence to the probationary terms would result in expunging the charge from Chesebro's record under the first offender provisions of the deal. According to Grubman, this facet should allow Chesebro to continue practicing law. Chesebro opted not to plead guilty to the overarching charge initially faced by all 19 defendants in the case, participation in a racketeering enterprise. Additionally, the plea characterizes the crime to which Chesebro confessed as devoid of moral turpitude. In an exchange with the judge, he alluded to his reluctance to concede guilt to some of the allegations. The proceedings took an unexpected twist when Chesebro's attorney inquired about the possibility of transferring his client's probation to Puerto Rico, his current place of residence. McAfee expressed reservations, citing potential complications regarding the terms of probation. Subsequently, Chesebro consented to remain in Atlanta for a few days to resolve these logistical details. An ironic twist given the now averted trial that was slated to commence in the upcoming month. The amended indictment meticulously cataloged various actions attributed to Chesebro, for which the state vowed to furnish evidence during a trial. These activities encompassed a central role in devising a strategy for convening Trump electors. An expressed intent to disrupt the congressional proceedings on January 6, 2021, and Chesebro's personal presence at the U.S. Capitol protest on that fateful day. Chesebro nodded in acknowledgement as the indictment's details were recited, ultimately affixing his signature to the document. Subsequent to the hearing, Grubman opined that the plea agreement unequivocally demonstrated that Chesebro was never the mastermind behind any concocted plan involving fraudulent electors. He argued that Chesebro would not have secured a plea deal devoid of jail time if prosecutors truly believed he sought to subvert democracy. Although Grubman acknowledged his client's willingness to testify against co-defendants, he expressed skepticism about Chesebro being called as a witness in future proceedings, emphasizing that Chesebro had not acted as an informant but had instead opted to put this legal chapter behind him. Prosecutors refrained from commenting on the case's status after the hearing. Given that the trial against the remaining 16 co-defendants remains ongoing, with no trial date yet established, Chesebro and his legal team had previously asserted that he had merely provided legal opinions to the Trump campaign. They had also unsuccessfully sought to prevent the use of memos and emails others sent by Chesebro to Republicans nationwide and working on the Trump campaign from being admitted as evidence in the trial. Chesebro's testimony, when it ultimately occurs, may delve into a plethora of issues involving his co-defendants. The extensive 98-page indictment portrays Chesebro as not only instrumental in the convening of alternative electors but also as a linchpin in the strategy to disrupt and delay the joint congressional session on January 6, 2021. The 7 felony charges initially facing Chesebro spanned conspiracy to commit forgery, conspiracy to file false documents, and violation of an anti-racketeering statute originally designed to target organized crime entities. In the separate federal case against Trump, Chesebro remained uncharged, merely referred to as co-conspirator 5. Allegedly responsible for concocting a corrupt plan to subvert the federal government's function by obstructing the counting and certification of Biden electors' votes. In the realm of Trump, where lawyers did convene, Chesebro and Powell, in the legal scene, they wove a web of intricate design to overturn elections, was not benign. With legal prowess, they embarked upon their quest to make true Trump's mess. Much appreciation to you for giving of your time with us at Motivation at Hand. To know is to know how. We trust you will come back soon.